Wow, this is gonna be awesome. We're heading that way, northbound, Lost Coast Trail. 300 miles north of San Francisco is a region of California called the Lost Coast. Lost because the rugged terrain made it impenetrable by major roadways and because it's sparsely populated. The Lost Coast Trail is a 25-mile point-to-point backpacking trail along the Pacific Ocean shoreline in this region. My sister Betsy, Sandy, and I hiked this trail in February. We stashed a bike near Mattole Beach for me to ride back and fetch the car once we were done hiking. There's the bike stashed in the brush just off the road from Mattole Beach. First water crossing. We only started 3 minutes ago. There's a little swiftness. It's not bad. I'm thinking this is the landslide that we have to get around. Active landslide a half-mile north of Black Sands Beach. We've been advised to go through during low tide, and that's going to be real easy, but I guess climbing over that's a little bit of a mess, like really soft quicksand like mud, especially after rain like we've had.
Somebody dragged it down. Looks like a box.
Being well into the afternoon, our goal for the first day was mainly to get a start on the hike and find a place to camp. The trail had several sections that were only passable during low tide. We made it to the first of those sections during high tide and had no choice but to wait till the next morning when the tide was low. What you eating, Bandanas?
Beans and rice and corn chips and a cheese stick on the side.
A short trek from our campsite was a freshwater stream that we used as a water source. Okay, what happened, Bets?
Oh man, filtering my water, filled up my first water bottle, then I went to fill up my big 2-liter bag, and I grabbed the wrong handle and the bag fell into the water. I had the filter in my hand and the bag went down the river and into the ocean. Kind of in the dark too, we could hardly see it while going down the river.
Yeah.
But oh, what a bummer.
Waiting out a little rain, and we're right at the edge of one of the impassable zones, waiting for the tide to go down, and it's going to be low enough.
10 minutes.
And chance of rain through the morning, and then it'll be all good, and we can hopefully hike the rest of the trip without rain.
Woo-hoo.
Okay, so we got rocks falling down from here, and the ocean, as we're looking up the mountainside, a big wave came in. This is life. Really hope for one rain day out here, because this kind of setting could be so beautiful with low-hanging clouds and rain and drizzle, and we're getting it. As much of a pain in the neck as it is dealing with the wet stuff, it's really beautiful. I don't think I'd trade this in for a sunny day. We'll get a few of those at the end. So we're in a tidal zone where you can only get through during the lower end of the tide, and it's about 4.5 miles. We have about 5 hours to get through it. You can see here the beach goes right up to the rocky shoreline, and if the tide's up, the ocean goes right to the rocks, leaving nowhere to walk. Starting to get little peaks of sunshine. So a big flat creek down by the ocean, we couldn't really cross at the low end because the tide's getting pretty high. So we're trekking upstream a little where it's braided, trying to find a crossing. There's Betsy's campsite, and we're tucked into the woods a little bit here, Sandy and I.
Hey Ted, what are you making?
Cocktails.
Oh, yay!
Happy hour with happy hour. Well, after yesterday's all-day hike in the rain, we woke up to a beautiful sunrise this morning, and we're on our way. We're gonna go to another tidal zone where we have to get through during low tide, and it's toward the end of our day. We're hoping to camp kind of midway through. There's a spot within the tidal zone to camp, but if the tide's coming up before we get there, we'll wait it out. We'll camp before that, but really kind of fun to deal with that.
I see a little eye.
Wow. Climbed in there in a little either marmot or sea otter or something. I think I startled him. He startled me. Probably not good to be in there anyway. What does the bone find? Bandanas?
Well, it's a rib, and it's not human. It might be a whale bone.
We've entered the tidal zone, the second one for the trip, and we really don't have enough time to get through here before the tide comes in, so we're going halfway to Cooksey Creek, where we can kind of get up inside of an inlet and out of the way of the tide. These layers in the rock are crazy. This is where we're going to camp tonight.
I think that's a femur bone. And this one here could be an ulna and a radius of a quadruped. Back out, now he's out. Hello. Back in the water.
A coyote came right around the edge of my tent and came around right by my backpack, and he didn't even look at me. He just kept going.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
That was so cool.
It looks like the trail's open. It's not quite below 3 feet yet, but there's probably some pinch points that'll be hard to get through, but I think we're clear to start. Sandy is now officially buoy number 16767. Trying to tote some trash out of this place. It's not terrible, but there's a lot of fishing boat garbage and plastic bottles. We'll cart out what we can.
Instead of a monkey on my back, I have a buoy on my back.
Bessie went over for a nature break, and we're sitting here talking, not realizing there's an elephant seal laying right there.
Snoozing on the beach.
All of the moms are weaning their pups, and that's why I'm going around and tagging all of the pups that were born. Their moms are gone now.
Science! Women in science!
Well, thanks for doing what you do. Last water fill up for the trip.
Real cocktails.
What was your favorite part?
The baby sea lions, or elephant seals. The otter too.
What was the most surprising thing about this hike?
Biggest surprise was the wildlife. There's so much wildlife, I didn't expect that.
The river crossings, they were so crazy looking with waves crashing upstream. I would say that was one of my favorite things. So our last campsite for the trip, we're just half a kilometer from the trailhead. It looked as though our last sunset might be obscured by clouds. But then the sun emerged from below the clouds. And moments later, it disappeared again, this time below the horizon. At 5:30 in the morning, we're going over to get the bike. I'm going to jump on it and go get the car, and then Sandy's coming back to the tent to pack up. I'm underway to get the car, riding Betsy's $100 department store mountain bike. It's a 42-mile ride, almost 6,000 feet elevation gain. Scene after scene. Such a beautiful ride. Roads sure are steep around these parts. I don't know if you can hear that popping. That's the bottom bracket, the crank bearings. So this is the slide Totally doable on the bike.
We're waiting for Ted. He left on the bike at around 6 this morning. It's 2:29.
Why are we not in your big tent, Sandy?
Well, it tried to blow away while I was in it.
We went for a 6-mile hike and then we came back and it was probably 11 o'clock. We thought we better start getting ready to pack our bags, and then we find out that Ted said he's going to be a couple hours later than he thought he would be. Poor Ted. Yeah, I think we've been here for maybe 2 hours sitting in this tent.
Yeah.
It's raining and windy out there and really cold.
The legs are talking. They are tired. That's the ocean. In the last descent, the legs aren't going to do much more. It was not the final descent.
Ted will be here supposedly in about 50 minutes. So much fun on the Lost Coast. Bye.
Bye.
Oh my God. Woo. This is it. Pavement, Shelter Cove Road. 5 miles down to the ocean. Trip is over.